All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk about where to live in Medellin, Colombia. For those of you guys who are both coming to visit and to live. And so I'm just going to show you little clips of different areas and just give you a brief idea of those areas from my viewpoint. And also disclaimer that I've made a video like this before in the past, but I'm going to do it over just like a few other videos because as you start to live here, you learn new things, and plus I think I can do those videos a lot better. So with that being said, we're gonna start off with the first neighborhood, which most of you guys probably already know, and that is Poblado. This neighborhood is the most touristy area of Medellin, so this is where you're gonna find the majority of your fine dining restaurants, international restaurants, banks, tons of malls. If you're just visiting, tons of hostels, hotel, Airbnb options, and also English. So if you're somebody who doesn't really speak Spanish that well and you want to be in a neighborhood where you hear a lot of English, Poblado is that place. So yeah, this is basically the most Americanized area of Medellin. But just keep two things in mind. One, American style usually comes with expensive prices. And two, this neighborhood is located on a hill. You know, so if you're somebody who likes to wake up every morning and take little strolls and walks around the block, this isn't the neighborhood. Or if you have some medical issues or disabilities that makes it difficult going up hills, I would say maybe, you know, think twice about this neighborhood. Unless you plan on catching taxis and Ubers everywhere, then that's fine. But if you're somebody who has the money and you're like, look, I'm coming to Medellin, I want to retire here, and I want to stay in the nicest part of town possible, then Poblado is your place. This next neighborhood, I would say, is the second most popular amongst foreigners, and that would be Laureles. And for a number of reasons. One, you still get the safety here like you do in Poblado. Two, this neighborhood is very beautiful. And three, which I probably think is the most important, is that it's local. You know, you don't get the American vibes, or you're not gonna see the tall skyscraper buildings like you do in Poblado. And so, which is why I think a lot of people decide to live here, and which also adds to the price. Now, this area isn't like half the price of Poblado, but it is a tad bit cheaper, especially if you watch my hotel videos. You know, the hotels in Poblado are pretty expensive, but the cheaper ones are usually in the Laureles area. But with that being said, there are hostels here and there is a university, so you will see some foreigners, but just not a lot like in Poblado, which can be a good or bad thing depending on, you know, your perspective or whatever. Oh, and I forgot to mention that Laureles is it's flat, so it's a lot more walkable than some of the other neighborhoods I'm gonna list. So just keeping that in mind, and yeah, if you're looking for an area that has a good mixture of locals and tourists, then Laureles is a good option. This next neighborhood is technically not in Medellin. You know, I have to say that because somebody's gonna comment, but it's probably about, I would say, maybe 15 to 20 minutes away from Poblado, and that is Envigado. And so if you're looking for a residential area, just a little bit away from the city, not too far, but just a little bit away from the city, then Envigado is your spot. And I was also reading a blog that said Envigado is going to be the next Poblado. And I can see that, you know, it's a safe area. At least in my opinion. Also, I would say it's upper middle class, you know, so the prices, they're not like Poblado, but the prices in Envigado aren't dirt cheap. Like that's not a cheap area in my opinion. And also, you won't see many foreigners. The majority of the foreigners that are there are usually students, because there's two popular schools nearby. There's Colombian Immersion, and then there's EFIT. And so you'll see some, you know, tourists or some foreigners walking by, but usually not that much. So if you're looking for a neighborhood a little bit outside the city, still nice, give Envigado a try. All right, so those first three neighborhoods I mentioned are the most popular, but these next three I'm going to talk about are pretty much honorable mentions. So this first one is technically, well, not technically, it is outside of Medellin, located in the south, but you can catch the metro and get there, and it's called Sabaneta. And when I think of this neighborhood, it reminds me of a southern town in the United States. You know, that mixture of countryside and city, and just the people. You know, whenever I walk around, that's the vibes I get, just a country kind of relaxed kind of feel. And so I also think this is a great neighborhood for those of you guys who are coming down with kids to raise a family. It just, I don't know, it feels like a family friendly southern town kind of area. So if that's what you're looking for, you know, you're not trying to be in the city, Sabaneta can be an option for you. And then these last two are actually located near Laureles. The first one is Medellin, which has the large sports complex area that I love. They got the swimming pools, the track, basketball courts, huge open air gym, and they also have a water park in this area. And they have a few hostels for some of you guys who want to try out this neighborhood. I think Medellin's a cool one, just a little bit south of Laureles. And then you have Estadio, where I live. And the reason why I live here is because of the stadium. I can work out here. I can work out at the stadium every day for free, and I love working out. So, if you're not really into that, then this Estadio area may not be the best. But yeah, these aren't all the areas, but I think these are some of the main ones, at least the first three. Poblado, which is the main, which is the most Americanized area. Laureles, which is a great local area, and Envigado, which is a little bit outside of the city of Medellin, but also still another great area. And then you have the other ones I talked about. So, I hope this video has helped some of you guys who are thinking about coming to visit or, coming to move here. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here. So I'll catch you guys at the next one. Deuces.